Boxing, entering the ring wearing black trunks with green and gold trim, fighting out Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Even if he gets hit early on, because Joe Smith is going to jump him and press him early. Composure, left hand. Joe Smith, I want to see the blue collar guy that we've always known, a guy who puts pressure and is right in the grill of Jesse Hart right away.
But I must say something right now. Joe Smith has been out of the ring 10 months. Okay, this is, he has a lot of inactivity. With inactivity, it causes physical, mental, and emotional stress now, people. He's fought once in 2017, once in 2018, and once in 2019. It's going to be a very important round for him. Actually, the first 4 rounds will be very important.
And one of those fights in 2017 was against the common opponent, Sullivan Barrera. Smith lost a 10-round unanimous decision. That was the fight we were talking about earlier tonight with the broken jaw. And, of course, for Jesse Hart, we just saw him win a unanimous decision against Sullivan Barrera. That was on the undercourt of Tyson Fury, Tom Schwartz.
Step back. To me, Hart has already given him too much respect. He's not using his jab to keep Smith up off of him. He's moving a lot already, and it's early in the fight.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Too much movement from Hart. You can move subtly, but you got to get your jab going. If you got to tie up to regroup, you do what you have to do. But all the flailing and lifting your arms up around the rope, that's not sustainable for a tough 10-round or 12-round fight.
And stopping and firing off the right hand and then tying up. Yeah, I to your point, you just can't sustain that kind of frenetic energy and excessive movement.
Joe Smith said, I want to put physical pressure and mental pressure on Jesse Hart right away, and he's sticking to his word.
That's exactly what he's doing here in round number 1. Here, the warning from Harvey Dock, third man inside the ropes tonight for this light heavyweight main event.
Listen, if I know if my opponent has a lot of inactivity, I'm coming out, I'm going to test that chin right out the gate. Jesse Hart hasn't landed anything flush on Smith at the moment. Nice little sharp jab there from Jesse.
Poked out that jab, was able to land that.
But you're going to see a lot of circling. Jesse's going to move away from the right hand of Smith. Smith has a bit there.
There's Smith coming in with the wailing right hand, and Hart ties up immediately, getting off the ropes. Smith is capable with that power.
Work out here. Wait, I got it. Don't hit him behind the head. Nope, that was behind.
Second time that Harvey Dock has had to deal with a warning to Joe Smith Jr. Joe Smith Jr. finishing up with his trainer, Jerry Capobianco. The keys for Joe Smith Jr.
Yeah, Joe Smith told us in the fighter meeting that he must stay busy, and that's the most important thing, I think, out of these 3 things. Stay busy, stay active, keep working his hands. And the thing he said he should not do is lose focus in the clinches. You saw at the end of that last round, you saw him get real aggressive inside the clinches and landed a nice little parry behind the head of Hart.
And as for Jesse Hart, what are you looking for, Timmy?
Stay away from the right hand. Like I said earlier, Smith has punching power in his right hand, so he must move away from it and avoid it. And he said what he cannot do is drop his left hand, because if he drops his left hand like he has it down now, it's gonna create a lane for the right hand for Joe Smith Jr.
Jesse Hart continues to circle to his right, away from the right hand of Joe Smith Jr. Every so often is stopping and firing off an uppercut. Capobianco, the trainer for Smith Jr., said after that first round, you are going to catch him. You will catch up to him.
Yeah, he's going to catch him on the way out. That's what he's looking for. He's looking for Hart to come out with his hands dropped and an opportunity to step with him as he's moving out to catch him with a big shot.
2 punches that took a lot of energy out of Jesse Hart. It should not have been that cumbersome to get 2 punches on.
Well, having to close the gap just to do it, right, Trey?
but he's got this protect himself mentality, and that's what's causing him to overreact in some respects. Inside and even on the outside with Joe Smith, and he's just giving up too much energy right now. The way you slow a guy like this down is a great jab. And inside right here, you got to stick him to the body. You got to let him know, look, I'm not going to fight you fire for fire, but inside, I'm going to stick a left hand underneath. I'm going to step around and hit you with a right hand, then I'm going to regroup. He's not hitting him inside right now.
Smith does not respect
Not
at all.
That's because he's not doing what I'm saying.
It was a short uppercut on the inside from Smith.
He's not throwing to the body. Inside, that's when you get your work in. You're safe inside. And then when you get back outside, get back on the stick.
Smith's wide sweeping right hand from long range. They tagged him. Oh, and Jesse Hart is hurt. There's the power of Joe Smith Jr. showing up here in round 2.
And he caught him on the way out. Hart was trying to retreat, trying to get away from the right hand. Went right into the right hand of Smith. He can't miss it. Ooh, nice shot by Hart right there.
Hart returns fire. Wild final 30 seconds here of round number 2. Big crowd here at Hard Rock Live. Many have made the drive down from Long Island to see Joe Smith Jr., and they had a lot to like at the end of round number 2. First, the uppercut on the inside.
Yeah, Hart leaning a little bit forward. Of course, Smith's going to shoot a nice little uppercut right there, but this is the right hand right here that won the round for me and hurt Jesse Hart. Look at his legs right there in that sequence. You know, Smith followed him out with the right hand, a looping right hand, hurting Jesse Hart.
Phil Capobianco, one of Smith's managers, said that Smith has hurt everyone he's fought, even in defeat. Dmitry Bivol had his problems, but Dmitry Bivol had technical capabilities that Hart just doesn't have. So we're going to see something from Hart tonight.
Bivol, of course, was able to keep him off balance, was able to box and move. And, you know, you talk to Joe Smith Jr., he says, let me tell you something, the more I would come after him, the more dangerous he became. That was when he fought for the world title last March. There's a right uppercut from Jesse Hart. You see, the NFL playoff divisional Saturday has wrapped up with Tennessee upsetting the Baltimore Ravens. This is Top Rank Boxing on ESPN. NFL Rewind is coming up next. They will go through the entire day of the divisional playoff games. San Francisco able to take care of business, and Mike Vrabel's Titans getting it done again. We are here in round number 3 of a significant light heavyweight fight. Glad you're with us. Joe Tessitore, Andre Ward, Tim Bradley ringside as Jesse Hart, the 2-time super middleweight world title challenger, just got rocked in the last round against the upset-seeking Joe Smith. Why is this fight significant? And there's a quick stop and pop from Jesse Hart as all of a sudden he finds some momentum. The winner here tonight will put themselves in great position to most likely fight for the vacant WBO title that Canelo Alvarez just vacated. So glad you're with us if you're just tuning over from the NFL playoff game with Tennessee taking care of business. We have already had good action. Scheduled 10-rounder to very top 175-pounders, including Joe Smith Jr., who is so capable with his power. He finished off the career of the soon-to-be Hall of Famer Bernard Hopkins with a knockout victory. And Jesse Hart was partially trained by Hopkins.
The footwork is terrible, Tess. Look how Jesse Hart stands straight up in the pocket, getting roughed up by Joe Smith Jr. Look at his feet. Squared up inside the pocket, getting hit with shots. You know, that's terrible. Let me go back. Terrible footwork right there from Jesse Hart. He does this constantly in this fight. And if he continues to do this, he's going to continue to take on punishment in the inside and be roughed up by
Smith Jr.
Joe Smith Jr. has landed more power shots than Jesse Hart, a 20-15 connect advantage, more willing to throw the power punches as well. He has thrown 30 more power punches than Hart. Reminder, NFL Rewind will be coming up once we finish up with Top Rank Boxing here from Atlantic City.
Ooh.
Good shot that time, and a right hand comes in from Joe Smith Jr. as well. And now Hart standing right in front. Round number 4 scheduled for 10. Got to stay away from that right hand of Joe Smith Jr. if you're Jesse Hart.
Hart throwing the uppercut from a little. He's trying to time Joe Smith as he's coming in, but he's throwing it from a little bit too far away. He has to be careful not to get hit with the counter left hook from Smith Jr.
The exception of the last round, fellas, this has been an ideal start for Joe Smith Jr. It's a difference in physical strength. I think Jesse Hart has the edge in skill, but he's just not applying it the proper way and at the right time. Just feel like Jesse makes fights a lot harder than they have to be. You use your jab. Sometimes you use the flicking jab. Sometimes you use the stiff jab. Then you get shots in like that. You step around. You don't give up shots like that with that kind of height. It's just mistakes that are being made, and a guy that has that kind of experience, I just don't understand it.
And with Hart leaning against the ropes, another right hand reined in from Joe Smith Jr.
Hart just hasn't learned how to deal with pressure. You know, that's the reason why Ramirez had success, and that's why he couldn't beat Ramirez, because Hart couldn't deal with the pressure. And I'm sure Smith seen that fight over and over, and that's why he said he's going to attack Jesse Hart.
Mauling pressure from Joe Smith Jr. Trying to find that left hook once Smith Jr. crossed that threshold. Now the right hand comes in.
Just don't see commanding shots from Jesse Hart. Shots that you feel from the outside of the ring where you say, okay, Hart's trying to get his respect. I see protective type shots like, get off me. And that's not going to work with a guy like Joe Smith.
No, it's not. It's not going to stop him. It's not going to deter him.
Look at Joe Smith right here. Middle of the ring. A series of punches. And goes straight back with a right hand. Looking to split that guard again. Punishing attack here against Jesse Hart. And now trying to chase him straight back as Jesse Hart lands an uppercut. But he is on the retreat. Another good-looking round for Joe Smith Jr. End of 4.
Okay, like I said, Hart stepping back, throwing the uppercut from too far away. I knew the right hand was going to be available for Smith. He lands it right there on Jesse Hart.
Landed 19 power punches in that last round. You see the total power punches landed. Joe Smith Jr. has thrown 117, landing 33% of those. He got to Hart badly in the second round, and again, the damage done in the 4th round. Now, number 5 of our scheduled 10-rounder, significant light heavyweight fight. The landscape at 175 pounds, Artur Beterbiev is a monster at 175, but there are big fights to be made. Canelo, of course, took a belt, vacated. He is shopping around for his next mega fight. The winner here could be primed to find themselves in a big cash ticket fight for a belt.
Fred Jenkins told me, look, Jesse's got to use his jab. He's got to stay away from Joe, and more importantly, he can't wrestle with him. He's got to box him, but he just cannot wrestle with him. He's strong.
Fred Jenkins, the longtime veteran Philly trainer of Jesse Hart. You know, Bernardo said, Fred says you can't wrestle with him. That started right in the first round.
Right.
That mauling on the inside from Joe Smith Jr. If Hart was to have it his way, wouldn't he have this thing in the center of the ring, box boxing, utilizing the jab.
There's so much pressure on him right
and
now.
utilizing his footwork, but it's been constant pressure
There's so
throughout.
much pressure on him.
Fellas, all that staying away from the right hand stuff and boxing the whole night and never getting touched, that's in theory. In reality, you're going to have some contact, but you got to know when to fight and when not to fight. So it allows you to box and do what you want to do. But you cannot move around the ring from a guy who's putting this kind of heat on you all night long and think he's not going to win.
But Dre, I don't think he knows how to do that.
I understand that, but
I
I'm
don't think
saying
he knows how. But I get what
the
you're saying.
theory to just stay away all night, that's not a reality.
But this is Jesse Hart. This is what Jesse Hart does. He
Even
did this in the
Parnell
revenge
Whitaker,
fight.
who was as slick as he was, he would be in the pocket,
But he gotta
and he
know
wouldn't
how.
allow you to hit him.
But he got to know how.
Sweet Pea wasn't running all night.
I don't think he knows how to do it.
I agree. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that the moving all night won't work.
It ain't gonna work. He got to put a sequence of punches together. You know, one punch at a time and just moving back, retreating. It's not gonna get it done. Smith getting real aggressive in the inside.
Boy, and he looks for that uppercut on the inside.
Look at the
as
legs.
well.
Look at the legs of Jesse Hart. How he squares up inside the pocket.
He just tried for it again there. Two light heavyweight contenders. Meanwhile, earlier tonight, we saw well against the WBC undefeated heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder as they get set for the mega pay-per-view. The two undefeated heavyweight champions, the WBC champ and the lineal champ, Wilder Fury 2 will be February 22nd on pay-per-view, and Kanto is going to be a sparring partner in the camp of Fury. But guys, I want to ask you about what we saw with Xander Zayas quickly and Joseph Adorno. What stood out to you?
I like them both. But it's kind of early to tell, Tess, but you do get the sense when you look at both guys that they got something special, but it's a long road to the top. They got to stay focused, keep working their craft, because really at this stage, it's the most dangerous stage when you got guys coming in there with 7, 8, 9 losses, nothing to lose, and all they got to do is bite down on the mouthpiece and just fight hard.
Yeah, but Joseph Adorno, I mean, getting a draw at this time and this point in his career, that's terrible. You know, I looked at him in the ring. He's playing around, looking into the crowd. You know, he's more worried about how he looks than his craft, Dre. That's a problem.
Well, right now, how Jesse Hart looks is a concern for the Philly fans who made the short drive down here to Atlantic City. On Andre's scorecard, he has Joe Smith Jr. up 49-46. The second and fourth round clearly in the favor of Joe Smith Jr. with the damage he was able to do. And there is that short right uppercut on the inside yet again.
Don't underestimate those short shots inside to the body from Joe Smith. They do a lot of damage, especially as the fight starts to progress.
Round 6 scheduled for 10. Significant light heavyweight fight here between two guys who have fought for titles before and are desperate to get back to that status. The winner will be primed to do so. A reminder that all your NFL divisional playoff coverage will be coming up following this Top Rank Boxing on ESPN. Great night of action here. We saw Steven Nelson with a TKO victory to open up the night. Next week, we will be at Turning Stone in upstate New York. Eleider Alvarez, the recent light heavyweight champion, will be in the main event. Perhaps a showdown if he wins that fight with the winner of tonight's fight for a vacant belt. Smith Jr. squared up right in front of Hart and willing to throw.
It's time for plan B for Hart. Hart's going to have to stand there and fight like a dog. He needs to bring the Philly out right now because he's losing every single round. Bring the dog out.
Doubling up with that left hand, including an uppercut that split the guard. That from Jesse Hart, but once again leaning against those ropes and in the path of a right hand. Coming to the final seconds here of round number 6. What is that plan B for Hart? Back here in Atlantic City, you could hear the concern, by the way, in the corner of Jesse Hart as we start round number 7. And there is reason to have concern with the uppercut attack on the inside from Joe Smith Jr.
Absolutely. In close. What Jesse Hart doing? He's trying to tie up. He's tying up the wrong way. Leaned a little forward. and was hit right on the chin. Let me back that up for you again. There he is. You see the left arm reaching out, trying to tying up the wrong way. You got to get that arm around. Boom, and was hit with a nice uppercut by Smith. Right uppercut. Beautiful shot by Smith Jr.
Dre, that uppercut's been effective all night long. He has 22 more power punches landed than Jesse Hart.
I wanted to mention or touch on something that Fred Jenkins, the trainer of Jesse Hart, said. He said that I don't want you in there wrestling with Joe Smith, and I disagree. Good body shot right there from Hart. That's why as a good boxer, which Jesse is, you want to build up your physical strength. So when you run into a buzzsaw like this, if he wants to wrestle, we can wrestle. If you want to fight inside, we can fight inside. Then I'm going to tame you and get back to doing what I came here to do in the first place, which is box. You can't run and duck and hide all night from a guy like this.
The left-hand thudding shot that came in from Joe Smith. Let's check in with Bernardo.
Fred Jenkins, you asked, what was plan B? He said plan B is to fight more. Instead of moving, the jab is not stopping him coming in. We've got to stand there and trade.
Well, if they're standing there and trading, advantage Joe Smith Jr.
He has no other choice. You know, he's moving backwards. It's not working. He can't outbox Joe Smith, so he needs to stand there and fight. He's losing every single round right now.
Another right hand came in and split the guard. Joe Smith Jr. in control. Wide sweeping right hand, backs him into that red corner, chases him down behind the jab with another right hand. As Jesse Hart is just trying to keep him off him, but not finding a solution to it. There's a right hand to the body against that long, lean, 6'3" frame of Hart.
I don't see the Philly, guys. Where the Philly at in Jesse Hart? Needs to bring the Philly out. He needs to get in a dog fight. If he wants it, he needs to knock out Smith to win this fight. Nice right hand.
Neutral corner, no room to get away from the right hand.
So, Joe, why is he going straight back there?
He's tired. He's tired. He's frustrated. He's tired. And he can't keep him off.
Oh, he goes down! A right hand scores the knockdown for Smith Jr. Closing seconds of round 7.
7, 8, right?
Not much time to work with for Joe Smith Jr. Right to the body, upstairs, trying to headhunt for a moment, trying to chase him down, and the bell rings.
Choose come for a boxer when they on the ropes against a puncher. There we see a sweeping right hand from Joe Smith that got Hart's attention. Clearly, he got up on wobbly legs. Jesse Hart is lucky there was only 8 seconds left in that round. Sweeping overhand right for a guy that can punch like Joe Smith. He don't have to hit you flush. He just has to graze you in the right spot, and you're going to have trouble like we just saw right there with Jesse Hart. Boom. Right there on the side of the chin.
Trying to pull away. Trying to get away.
Left hand down.
Left hand down.
What a true statement to make that he's lucky that happened in the final 20 seconds of the 7th round. A dominant 7th round as you look at the 20 punches landed, according to CompuBox, by Smith.
I don't think this fight's going to go the distance, fellas. Jesse Hart, he looks fatigued. And he looks like he's giving up.
Round number 8. So much on the line for Jesse Hart. So much emotionally attached to this fight. As he was talking in the lead up about this being personal, about needing to avenge the knockout loss suffered by his idol and fellow Philly fighter, the great Bernard Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins was embedded in Jesse Hart's camp. Bernard Hopkins was step by step, side by side in helping Hart get ready, especially with the mental approach for facing Joe Smith. But what he has seen all night long is nonstop pressure and damage done. Bernardo.
In the corner, it was frantic. Everybody was yelling from Fred Jenkins to the Cyclone Hart. And then Starletta, his wife and manager, came in from outside, almost had to be restrained by 2 security guards. And she was yelling, you got to wake the hell up. So frantic moments for Jesse Hart and his corner.
And that's the last thing you need after you've gone down in the final half minute of a round.
It's not going to help. And everybody in the corner has to act like they've been there before.
Yep.
The fighter's hurt. He's dealing with enough. He needs to see you calm and resolute about what he needs to do next.
Remember when we had him the first go-round against Gilberto Ramirez, he was knocked down early in the fight. He came back to rally late in that fight, and Smith Jr. again able to find success with Hart against the ropes.
Now's the moment when you wonder, why did Jesse Hart go up to 175 where Gilberto Ramirez, who is number one in the WBO, already was? Why did he follow his nemesis here? These punches have a lot less effect at 68.
And he's in against a puncher tonight. He was proven through the years what he can do with that power. The tough guy from Long Island, the blue-collar construction worker, a member of the Laborers Union, the local number 66 on Long Island, who all of a sudden went from club fighter to headliner to a guy who knocked out the two-division world champ Bernard Hopkins, who got rid of a then good-looking 25-1 favorite prospect in Andrew Fonfara in one round at Joe Smith, ended up fighting for a world title. And now he may do that again. Joe, Tim, Dre, Mark, and Bernardo ringside here in Atlantic City, where Joe Smith Jr. could be closing in on a big win. Jesse Hart, the two-time world title challenger, hurt badly in the 7th round, survived it, was knocked down from a sweeping right hand. His trainer, Fred Jenkins, just told him, you are just surviving. You have to attack. And when you feel your leg against the rope, you have to get away. That hasn't been the case.
Test. Smith is throwing the right hand down to the body on Hart. He's looking to set him up. He's trying to line him up for the right hand. That's what he's looking for. Bring those hands down on Hart.
Up big on Andre Ward's scorecard is Joe Smith Jr. Sent back is Jesse Hart, bouncing off the ropes. Right hand comes in. There's the rally. There's a short right hand from Joe Smith Jr.
There it is.
Just making a brawl of it here in round number 9. And now pressing right into his chest again. Looking for that right hand to come through one more time. Goes to the belt line, slugs with a left, wide with a right. Hart doesn't look good, and there's a bad cut around the left eye of Jesse Hart. He is cut wide open.
Something else to worry about now.
And Harvey Doc is going to call time. Dr. Steve Oxler will head up to look at the cut here in round 9. You can see the blood streaming out. As he just told him, Harvey Doc, the referee, told him that is caused by a punch. The attack of Joe Smith Jr. doing more damage here, trying to earn the second title shot of his career.
Tess, I've never seen a referee step in right away when he see a cut and have the doctor come up. You know, he normally examines the cut, you know, and see if it's bad enough. So I have to say it might have been, it might have gave Hart a little rest.
Well, there's no doubt it did. Let's see what Bernardo can offer.
And that's why Jerry Capobianco told me, I want Joe to try to stop him here. He's been dominating, but I don't want to leave it in the hands of the judges.
To the ref's credit, that was a good call. It's a bad cut right there. He didn't have to analyze that for too long. You can see right away it's a bad cut. And it's also dripping in his eye and impeding his vision.
No Hart tying up here. This has been a rough night. This has gone Smith's way from the start. The pressure plan has worked.
I think at this point, Jesse has stopped trying to win. I think several rounds ago. I think at this point, a victory for him is finishing the 12th round on his feet.
But that's not reality when it comes to this stage of his career.
Not at all.
He's going to have 3 minutes to go for broke.
He's not going to do it.
We will have the 10th and final round. Capobianco,
they want to coach
to a win.
Yeah, sorry, Joe. Here's the sequence where we were trying to figure out if it was a punch a headbutt. And it looks like it may, not the shoulder right there, but right, back up a little bit, right there. It looks like the head hit the eye of Jesse Hart. I did not see a clean punch land. That right there. I think that was a missed call by the ref.
There we go.
I think that was a headbutt and not a punch that caused that cut. It was a headbutt.
Well, here comes desperation time now for Jesse Hart. If he has anything left, any hope at all, he has to let it all fly here against Joe Smith Jr. Joe Smith Jr. up big on Andre's scorecard, up big when it comes to the CompuBox totals. He has landed 102 power punches to only 44 power punches by Hart. He had him hurt in the second round. Smith had him hurt in the fourth round and then scored the knockdown with a sweeping right hand in the seventh round. The fan favorite from Long Island, the 30-year-old Joe Smith Jr. could be in position again for another big night if he can just hang on here and finish strong.
What gives Joe Smith trouble, as we saw in the fight with B-Ball, is a physically strong boxer. Jesse Hart is a good boxer, but he's not physically strong, and that's why you see Joe Smith having his way.
Hart never able to keep him off all night long. Well, this was a division that you were king of the world in, Dre. And you know there are different body types at 175 pounds. You mentioned the style of guy that Smith can have success with, the kind of guy he would struggle with, and at the top of this division right now, you mentioned Bivol, but the very top of this division is a monster and better be it.
Yeah, he's got bricks in both hands.
He really does.
He's got dynamite in both hands, real.
Again, fellas, this is because Hart's body type is 168, not 175.
I think
I'm not sure we can say that, though, because Jesse Hart is walking around 20, 25 pounds over the 68-pound limit. So he's going to hurt himself making 68, and that's why you saw him fading midway and late in fights. This is an IQ thing, not knowing how to use what he has and not building up his physical strength over the years, and now it's costing him.
I actually think there were moments, especially in the first Ramirez fight, where if he had hit the gas pedal a little more, he may have been a world champion at 168 pounds.
I agree with that.
For the mentality of realizing what you're capable of. And look at Joe Smith Jr. here in the final minute here of round 10, wanting every bit of it. This is going to be a very well-earned win for Joe Smith Jr. Is there anything left, any hope left for Jesse Hart here? Instead, it's Smith still coming in with sweeping right hands, still acting the part of everything he's supposed to be. Going to take it right to the bell. Joe Smith Jr. comes down here to Atlantic City and will be celebrating deep in.
Hello.